So it's the 13th of the 4th today, and I was back in the gym after night shifts. Sort of did my running yesterday early morning so I could go home after work, sleep, wake up about midday yesterday to get the sleep cycle back on track, and booked myself in for a sauna that afternoon. Did some shopping, did some housework, and then went back to bed super early. So that was pretty much. Yesterday was almost that recovery day, and I guess when you do your workout on your lunch break at 2-3 o'clock in the morning that day, I've worked out for that day, so I can spend the rest of that day recuperating, even though I've sort of had 2 sleep cycles in between. But today we're back. Was going to do a squat and deadlift day, but after this set of squats, the deadlifts just did not feel on. Back was not feeling good for whatever reason. I don't exactly know why. I just was not feeling super strong at all. So I neglected that, and I decided just to do a legs day. Before I did these squats as well, I didn't film it, but I did 50 sit-ups on the incline sit-up bench. So I did 30 in a row, had a break for 20 seconds, did the other 20, and then made my way over to the squat rack. It wasn't a planned thing, only just because the squat rack was in use at the time and just needed to occupy myself for a couple of minutes. Also helps with a bit of abdominal activation to help with reminding myself to keep my core tight as I'm squatting and performing a lot of exercises and bracing my core. It was pretty standard for the squat today, standard for me. Warmed up, hit the 60 kilos, but instead of doing 5 reps this time, I decided to do 10 reps. I thought, man, you're pretty piss poor if you can't do 10 reps with 60 kilos on your back, because I was doing 5 previously and I was struggling on the 5th one, on the 5th rep. So I thought, geez, if you can't do your at least 3 sets of 10 with 60 kilos on your back, then what are you doing, mate? And where's your muscular endurance going? What's going on? So I decided to do that. So 3 sets of 10 with 60 on the back, and then 80 kilos, 3 sets of 4. I was thinking about doing 5 sets of 4. But again, wasn't feeling that great. Just lower back, wasn't feeling fine. I was squatting okay, but I just didn't have any confidence in my spot with the amount of weight on my back. Not necessarily the squatting form, but just having it sitting on my traps. I didn't have any confidence in my back at all. So I just sort of left it there. It was a pretty interesting day for working out in general. And I'll talk about, the leg press later on, but something did happen in the leg press as well. So it was a day for, hitting legs after deciding not to do deadlifts, but also just keeping in mind that I didn't want to herniate my back or herniate my abs, or, it felt like a day for possible herniation, which was a bit weird. Did my normal, probably a little bit longer, 30-minute warm-up, a lot of stretching. Obviously, when I come off night shifts and after that running, I'm not doing a lot of stretching. I'll stretch for a couple minutes before the runs, but I won't do any sort of stretching when I get home. I usually just go home, eat, and crash. That's all you really want to do when you're working nights, is just get home and, get some carbs in you and go to sleep. So that's essentially what I was doing. So I spent a little bit more time limbering up. I used a foam roller this morning, just to make sure I'd get my legs, my tendons, my ligaments, my knees, my ankles, and everything right. Because I've set out a few goals today, I decided, look, enough's enough. Yes, you're doing your training every day, but you can do more. You can always do more, and I've been feeling lost lately. Like I've mentioned it before, I've going through a rough breakup, and just trying to find a sense of purpose and a sense of something that I want to do, that I'm passionate about, that will make me happy, that will make me feel like I can work towards a goal and accomplish something. on top of training every day has been my main goal for the year, but I feel like it's one that I'm doing at the moment, and it is challenging to an extent. But I've been doing this for what is 102, 103 days now, so I'm sort of getting the gist of how I need my body to be. What sort of food I need to be eating, when I need to be eating. How much I need to be stretching, how much I need to use a sauna every once in a while, how much I need to go for a swim, like what my recovery point is versus the days where I'm training hard versus the days where I'm training lighter, versus how much cardio I need to do, how much weight. I feel like I'm getting a little bit on top of that, and not to say that it's not a challenge anymore, but it's something that has now just become routine. And that was the idea of it initially. The idea of it was to just test myself, and then if I am able to work within this regime, then make it a daily habit, which is what it has become now. Thanks to this challenge. So I set out a few goals today, and I'm still working on the finer details. But essentially, in terms of athletic goals, it was run a half marathon and then run a full marathon by the end of the year. Obviously, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've run one half marathon before, and that was in 2017. I want to say 2017, 2018. It's about 4 or 5 years ago now. It was the Gold Coast City Airport half marathons. It was about 21.5 Ks. And I did that in under 2 hours with fairly limited marathon training from what I remember. I believe at the time I was in uni, I was doing a lot of sprint work, so I was a very good 100 and 200 meter runner. But I think the first time I had ever run 20 Ks was about a week before that marathon, and that was just around a track for a couple of hours just to see if I could actually do it, because I'd never run that far. I think up until that time I'd probably never run more than 10 Ks, maybe even 7 or 8 Ks. So it was about 5 years ago I did that half marathon. Obviously I'm running a lot more since. I'm doing 5K days quite easily. I'm doing me 10 to 12 to 15s every once in a while. So I thought, yeah, look, why not? I'll make the marathon the full goal for the year, or do at least one by the end of the year, but put that half marathon in there just to see where I'm at, and just to make sure I'm able to do the 20k distance first, because 20k still beats my legs up quite a bit. So 42 and a half or whatever it is for a full marathon will knock me around quite a bit, and it will need some sort of preparing. I don't want to just do it and do it in 4 hours or something like that. Ideally, I'd like to do it under 4 hours, which would be a good sort of novice time to do. But another goal of doing one is do it without walking. Obviously do it without injuring yourself and things like that. So I want to prepare for it properly, and I want to make sure my one, I have good strength in my legs, and then two, my cardio and my endurance is up there as well. So hence, it's another reason why I like the idea of this leg day. I need to incorporate this more into my training as I'm doing these goals, and sort of keep doing the strength training until probably about maybe 2.5 weeks before a marathon. And by the strength training I mean leg days. Obviously I'd still be going to the gym in between, but leg days specifically, I'd give my legs probably about 2 weeks off heavy weights before running a race. So I want to incorporate this more. I want to make sure my musculature is strong, my joints, my ligaments. Structurally, I want to make sure that my lower body is getting there, or getting near to being sort of bulletproof. I'm going to be looking into a lot more of what knees over toes guys are doing and things like that. Obviously, I've incorporated a few of his stretching routines already, but I want to dive a little bit deeper. I want to give Nordic curls and stuff like that a go as well. Obviously, I know I'm not going to be doing those at any high level, but I want to sort of start implementing some of these strategies in now, while I'm potentially still 3 or 4 months out from running a half marathon to start off with. Anywho, back to this leg press, back to the workout that I'm doing today. This was where the other sort of problem came from. So I finished the squats, I did some hamstring curls. I did the hamstring curls, I did 4 sets of 10 on each leg, warmed up with the 10 kilos there, which you saw, and then I popped another 10 kilos on and did 3 sets of 10 with that on either leg. Came over to the leg press, and I wanted to sort of just do what I did last week with the leg press, and that was just do 10 reps at 40, 10 reps at 80, 10 reps at 120, 6 or 7 reps at 160, and 5 reps at 200, which is what I did the other week. And I did me, 10 reps at 40, 10 reps at 80, 10 reps at 125. Felt really good. And as you can see here, I was getting fairly decent depth. I like to lift my bum off the seat a little bit because it allows me to not compress my lower back and my coccyx and all that, which is where I previously had, in the past, gotten pain from my leg press. So I was doing all those things. Back was feeling fine. Legs was feeling okay. Fatigued, but okay. Like there was nothing, there was nothing untoward about feeling fatigued and doing leg press. I've done it before, and I've done it before on previous leg days. But I got up to 160 kilos and I get about 3 or 4 reps in, and then I feel something pull in my right upper quadrant in my abs. And I sort of freaked out for a second. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know what a hernia feels like, but I imagine that was close to what a hernia could feel like. And I started feeling it was like a pull, then a pop. It's like a small pull and a small pop. My right upper quadrant, abdominals, sort of right near my rib cage. And I felt a little pull, little pop there, and my hand immediately went to my abdomen, and I went, oh fuck, lock it out here, stop doing your leg press immediately, and just relax your core, relax everything, and just stop it. Sit there for a moment and feel, and just make sure everything's alright. And then I ditched a leg press from there. Like, at the moment I'm recording this, like, there's nothing wrong there. I feel like I might have an abdominal strain there. Like, when I stretch out a little bit, I feel like there's a lot of tightness in there, but it doesn't feel like a hernia or anything like that. But I don't know if I've strained my ab just doing leg press. I don't know what it is. But I stopped, and I was like, alright, look, no heavy pushing exercises, nothing where I'm going to have to hold my breath, brace my core. I'm not going to do any of that for the rest of the session, just to protect what's happened here, and that probably means maybe or maybe not doing the deadlifts and the bench that was planned for tomorrow. I don't know. So I did some quad extensions. I worked my way up to 60 kilos, and then did 3 sets of 12 with 60 kilos, or 10 with 60 kilos. And then I went to the calf raiser, and I was doing my calf raises and then my shin raises. Calf raises pushing off the bottom, shin raises pushing off the top, trying to bulletproof my shins. I do it for my shin splints, as I've mentioned before, that I used to get quite regularly but haven't got since I've been doing these exercises. And then after that I do some walking lunges with 20 kilos, a 20 kilo bar on my back. And I just walk up and down that section 3 times, and then I'm done. My phone fell over after the first lot, bumped it, being a twit. But yeah, look, that was the workout. I definitely feel super sore. I'm going to monitor this abdominal strain thing or whatever it is. Maybe it's because I did 50 sit-ups at the start. Maybe I was already fatigued. Maybe, pressing too hard and I was clenching too hard and whatever. But I'll just make sure I'm right there first before I do anything heavier in the coming days. Maybe I'll just give the heavy stuff a break tomorrow and do arms or something like that, or something where I don't have to deadlift and hold my core, or bench and hold my core, or create any sort of strong amounts of pressure within my body that I have to brace for. But look, that's probably gonna cut it for me. That's all I have to talk about today. So cheers, thank you very much, and yeah, look, excited to finally have a little bit of direction to go to. And a couple goals that I've set. So half marathon by the end of the year, half marathon under 2 hours, full marathon hopefully under 4 hours. So cheers, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.